Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, in today's Guilty Gear Strive video, we're talking about the Roman cancel yet again, and just more of the madness that it enables in this game, because we're talking about semi-universal, as in not fully universal, mix-ups, all thanks off the back of the blue Roman cancel. Basically, long story short, you're going to put the enemy in 50-50 situations where they kind of just have to guess or get blown up. Now, when I say semi-universal, here's the thing. You're going to need an air dash. So, Nagoriyuki, Potemkin, on the fact that they literally can't air dash at all, they're sort of disqualified from this mix-up here. And someone like Faust has a non-standard air dash. It's not the usual air dash everyone else has. So it's a little bit rougher for him. But for the most part, this should work for everyone else in the cast. It's pretty basic. So let's walk you through everything you need. So here's what we need for our near universal mix-up. We need 50% meter, because, we need the Roman cancel, right? That's part of the deal. And we need some sort of jumping normal that is dash cancelable on block or on hit. So for a lot of characters, this will be like a jump kick, where you can just get a jump kick and then dash cancel that, or some characters as well, jump dust can dash cancel. It's a little different character to character, but as long as you have a dash cancelable air normal, you're good to go. As you can see here, Soul is set to block, and even on blocked Chip, he can still dash cancel these normals, right? So he'll be our base example, but we'll show some more before the video is over. So let's talk about the particulars. So in Guilty Gear Strive, you are allowed to jump cancel some moves on block. For a lot of characters, although it's not everyone, but for a lot of characters, it'll be stand kick and close slash. These moves on hit or on block, you're able to jump cancel them, and that is the backbone of a lot of this. A big part of this mix-up is just assuming you can't crack the enemy open. Like, no matter what you try, you're just not cracking them open. They're going to block everything, right? And this relies on that, them blocking. So if you can force them to block, and of course this will work on hit too, but if you force them to block, then they're in a little bit of a can opener mix-up. So let me show you some examples real quick here, and then we'll talk about everything that happened. So here are the examples as they stand here. One will be high, one will be low, and then we'll talk about it. And that is the essence of it right there. So either, in this specific example, I hit air dust, dash cancel, and go for another air dust, so you have to block overhead twice, or I just do my air dust and just let it rock. And I can choose to do my low right away or delay it a little bit if I think they're going to try to catch both timings. It works either way, right? But yeah, that is the long and short of it, and this situation is recreatable for many characters in the game. So now let's talk about the constituent parts of all this, why this all works, right? So the first thing is, while we can do it just off a raw normal, like your kick or your close slash and just jump cancel, go from there, we want to generally start with like a jumping normal into that. Why? Just in case you actually hit him, right? If you actually hit him, then we can skip all this mix-up stuff and we can just go right into our combo. Like if he just gets bonked as it stands, there's no need for the rest of this, right? So now we have our position switch. I am Soul. And we have our handy chip bot. He's going to do this exact setup we showed, right? And if I stand block, all well and good. That's awesome. But say after the initial hit, I try to crouch block, right? And you can see my inputs on the left side of the screen. What's going to happen then? All right, here we go. Now try to crouch block. Oh, I just get rocked. Okay. And much the same here. If I block the first one, but fail to block the second one, I get rocked again. I literally have to just block correctly. I cannot return to a crouching state in time because the blue Roman cancel is slowing down my return to crouch. So therefore, no attacks can go over my head or anything like that. It is purely a guessing situation. Now, before we dig a little bit deeper here, let's just go into how this works here. So yes, once again, need a normal here, we can jump cancel. So a lot of characters, that's either kick or close slash, right? And from that jump cancel, we want to be low to the ground here from that jump and going into a forward blue Roman cancel. So as you can see here, I'm using a lot of the macros on my inputs here. And you don't have to, but legitimately it makes life a lot easier. So after your jump, and it could be a neutral jump, it doesn't have to be a forward jump, but after your jump, basically just hit forward, dash, and then Roman cancel, and the rest will kind of take care of itself. So if forward jumping is a little too difficult for you, you can just literally jump straight up and it'll work out the same. Now don't jump too high. Here's the thing, right? You just saw that, right? You jump too high, you'll go clear over their head, and that ruins everything, right? So you want to remain low to the ground so you don't pass through them, so the aerial attacks they're trying to do will actually hit, right? Once again, just to reiterate, using the macros will make your life a lot easier overall, but you don't have to do it. So if you're a purist or not, just keep it in mind, but the macros are way easier. So now that we've showed some of the basics of this here, let's take it to a logical conclusion, right? Let's try to use it in a combo, a full combo if we get the succeeding hit. So first I'll show you the double overhead route, and then I'll show you a route here with going low after the first overhead. Now keep in mind these are probably not optimal, but just to give you an idea. So that right there is an overhead example, the double overhead. Now let's try something with a low. And once again, not optimal combos, not a chip player myself, but just to give you an idea, right? So in this very short amount of span of time here, they have to immediately guess high or low. And if they guess wrong, well, then you get combo follow-ups. And once again, this is all thanks to the power of the blue Roman cancel. So we just take any normal that lets us jump cancel. Though, once again here, don't jump too high. You don't want to go over their heads. You want to stay kind of level with them. Jump up, blue Roman cancel forward, hit him with something that basically locks him in place. And then from there, they have to immediately guess high or low. And yes, as mentioned before, this works with lots of characters. So just let me show you a couple examples rapid fire. So there's the overhead from Leo, and obviously combo follow-up from there. And there we go, that time didn't block low, right? So that's our option. In this melee example here, we're going to show them crouching partway through. And if you do it correctly, even crouching, even after the direct overhead, after inertial jump, it's not going to save you, right? If you do this correctly, they just have to guess, crouching or not, even if they successfully block the first few hits. And as you can see there, even though Soul was crouching, double overhead, no problem, right? As long as you do it as low to the ground as you can, it'll be a non-issue. And of course, you can go from the low there as well. So double overhead for Jabana, easy as you please. And also the low option, pretty as you please, right? So once again, I'm not necessarily an expert at these characters. You can get way more optimal combos than these, especially with the blue time stop letting you create combos that are not normally possible. But this is a good idea of just all this kind of stuff here. Once again, just about everyone in the game, as long as you have a regular air dash and a normal that hits at least not straight above their head, right? Something that can actually connect with an enemy. As long as you can do these things, this pretty fairly, mostly universal mix-up option is available to you. And now that you know some of this universal stuff, there is a lot of potential for a lot more character-specific stuff. Like, let's take this Kai example here. So Kai, he can do the whole setup we showed earlier, right? But he can get a better version of it if he so chooses. So same basic idea, really. Like, we take our jump cancelable normal here, we go in, and we kind of just attack, right? But he can do it with his jumping slash, because the hitbox on that's very good. So we don't need to really worry about, like, you know, kick or a dust button or whatever. He can do it off that, as long as they're standing, and once again, if you catch him standing, that's kind of the whole point, right? And for him, he can basically get this double overhead option after that off a second jumping upwards. slash, because he can hit people just at the very tip of the jump with this. So that's where he creates his mix from. And then he can kind of just conk you on the head, right? Because jump heavy slash has such a great hitbox that when he hits you on the way up, he can hit you back on the way down, right? So that is just a cool little example for Kai specifically, so he can juice out just a little bit more damage. And of course, character specificity, right, also comes with some drawbacks. This would work against Soul, for example, but this would not work against Giovanna because she's a lot lower to the ground. So this jumping up slash would not actually connect with her standing. But hey, them's the breaks. Now, if you've gotten this far and you still don't know what I'm talking about with Roman cancels and all that, I highly suggest check the Roman cancel guide linked at the end of this video. It also has a very strong Eno specific 50-50 mix-up with blue Roman cancel in that video as well, so I suggest checking that out. But all in all, that's the concept. So one more time, just to really hammer it home. Any jump cancelable normal, jump with it, then forward blue Roman cancel very low to the ground, and then your mix-up is this. Do any dash cancelable normal, and once again, it's usually going to be kick or dust, although it depends character to character. And then from there, the mix is simply do that normal and either land and immediately go for a low and whatever you're going to go for, or then take that and then dash cancel it, and then take your mix from there, and it's either the double overhead or the overhead then the low. But in the end, my friends, that is the mostly universal sliding blue Roman cancel 50-50 mix-up. And with that said, I hope you can incorporate it in your game. And now that you know this, once again here, there's a lot of character-specific examples, so don't be afraid to mess around and find a lot of those character-specific examples, because, well, they just might be a big deal, right? And if you know a couple, hey, post it in the comments below, right? But other than that, that's the end of this video, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Guilty Gear.